Hello guys, we are back with part 3 of the Jurassic World Mattel mini collection, and this is part 3, and yeah, as you can see, this is only a portion of the collection. It's already gotten massive. But anyways, enough talking, let's get to part 3, or the dinos I'll show you in this video. The next dinosaur I got is the Suchomimus, also known as, well, the crocodile mimic. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. So yeah, as you can see, this is a really cool dinosaur. As you can see, it has an articulated jaw, and of course, like its cousin, the Baryonyx, it is a cousin of the Spinosaurus. And this particular one, this brown one, with the lime green spikes, I thought it was pretty nice, along with, well, some eye printing. And of course, it's just a nice mini all in all. As you can see, if you can see closely, it has some really good scale detail. And the second version that Mattel repainted it in is actually kind of awesome. This is a yellow version with some brown detail along with a white underbelly. I don't think it has eye printing. It might. I don't know, guys, but I think it doesn't. Regardless, it's really awesome looking. So yeah, this is quite a nice dinosaur that Mattel has made. Although sadly, I am a little disappointed that Mattel did not bring back the one from the original Suchomimus colors from 2018, where it was a awesome blue color. But sadly, they did not bring it back, in which I'm still sad of to this day. At least as of me recording this video. So Mattel, please, I beg you, please make it back in blue. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on to the next ones. First, we have another Chinese dinosaur. It's a dinosaur discovered in China. We have the Yangchuanosaurus. You can see this is a very cool dinosaur. When I first got it from the Dominion line, when these things came out, I was like, what the heck even is a Yangchuanosaurus? As you can see, this is what it is. It is a theropod-like dinosaur with really cool looking crests. I really like they gave it some red detail because it's likely they use these crests for display. You can see it's got an articulated jaw, some eye printing, and some really nice detail, because if you look closely, it's got some nice scaling detail, along with some bumps it has on its thighs, some pieces of osteoderms, and of course some nice teeth detail, along with some good patterns throughout the body. And because of this, Mattel has actually made more versions of it. The next version, it looks slightly similar, but it's slightly different if you look closely. We have this version. You can see, if you look really closely, it's got a darker shade of brown. Unlike this one right here on the left, this here on the right is the newer one. You can see the difference immediately if I turn it up. You can see this one's more of a muddy brown, this one is a chocolate brown. So yeah, this is a very cool little difference that they made there. A little update they made to it. Like I said, if any of this falls over, I'm not standing it back up because they're quite a pain to stand back up. Next up, we have another favorite of mine. Well, actually, this is the last variant they made of the Yangchuanosaurus. This is by far, my opinion, my favorite of the Yangchuanosaurus mold. They've made a turquoise one with some lime green detail for both the crests and the patterns, and some unique red eyes they gave it. Regardlessly, this version is my favorite, because this is very beautiful looking. And of course, if you guys recognize my videos, I've almost always started out the videos with looking at my walls, which my walls so happen to be as well a turquoise-like color. So yeah, this also gives the good little guy some camouflage. So yeah, this is quite an awesome looking mini repaint. I was like, oh my god, that is so beautiful. And beautiful it was indeed. But right here, this dinosaur, the main trademark of my channel, it is the Spinosaurus. You can see it's the classic Jurassic Park 3 design with the gray and the red sail. You can see it's got some eye printing, an articulated jaw, and of course that awesome spine. So yeah, this is a very, very beautiful dinosaur. Some people say it looks goofy. Honestly, goofy or not, regardlessly, this is quite a awesome mini that Mattel has made, especially because they made the crocodile-like snout. If you look up here, the detail itself, sadly, not much scale detail, but at least they gave it some decent detail enough for me to use it in my films. Next up, we have more dinosaurs that you guys may or may not recognize. We have the first one is a Borealis. This is I'm pretty sure a cousin of the Ankylosaurus, at least from the looks of it, because it's really spiky and it's covered in osteoderms. You can see the difference immediately with the Ankylosaurus is, first things first, this creature is a little bit smaller than it in terms of body mass, and the fact it doesn't have the club. It actually has a pair of scissor-like spikes. I think it was pretty awesome. As you can see, one whip from this and you're a goner. Did I say goner? I meant goner. Sorry if I mispronounced it. And as you can see, the most famous thing of this creature, however, it's got two shoulder spikes, almost like the Kentrosaurus, just a lot more sharper and a lot more bigger. Bigger means more damage. And this one takes it quite literally. The colors themselves are not bad, with this brown mixed with this medium nougat color, making it for a really good desert creature. Oh, sorry about me shaking the camera. And sadly, no eye printing, so I will dock it some points for that. But it's whatever. It's still a really cool looking mini, and it's also quite unique that Mattel even included non-famous species in this series of minis. Speaking of the Kentrosaurus, that's what we are next touching up on, is the Kentrosaurus itself. You see, this is a very beautiful mini. Sadly, once again, no eye printing, so thanks a lot, Mattel. But as you can see, they did give it some good detail to how they did with the real creature. They gave it its shoulder spikes, they gave it the plates, but along with the spikes that goes on down to its tail, and this cool green pattern. Regardlessly, this is quite an awesome looking mini, but my favorite part is the fact they actually got the size right, at least I'm assuming. Because the Kentrosaurus was smaller than its cousin the Stegosaurus, and you can see here it's a little bit smaller, like in terms of height and mass. But you can see it's more plump and more fat. The Stegosaurus is more skinny, more longer. Regardlessly, I love that they include details like that. That not many people care, but in collector cases like me, I love that. Next up, we have another creature you guys have not seen in my films yet. Along with, well, if you guys seen the trailer of Jurassic Adventure, you guys may have recognized this creature. Well, maybe or maybe not. This is the Majungasaurus. Now, Mattel is making a new version of it soon, so that's going to be kind of a tough one, because I kind of like this old version. I really like what they did with the spikes, along with this interesting spikes underneath its tail as well, along with even on the heels and Achilles, they gave it a little spike detail as well. Sure, the real animal was not covered head to toe in spikes, but maybe not. And of course, its signature horn, it's kind of hard to see, but it has got a little tiny bump on its head. And of course, sadly, no eye printing again, at least I think. I can't really tell. But sadly, the color is also kind of a letdown as well. It's just the base green of the plastic, just a little bit of olive green splotched onto it. But at least they gave the recognition it deserves. And of course, like the Carnotaurus, it suffers from the same problem. Tiny baby hands. Oh well, at least they gave this creature some recognition as quite a deadly killer. Because if you guys did not know, Majungasaurus has teeth that can actually grapple their prey. Unlike its Tyrannosaur cousins, it's actually got the Tyrannosaurus have slicing teeth. That creature has got gripping teeth, allowing it to grip its prey. Anyways, enough of me being a nerd. Let's do some more dinosaur minis. We have another creature you guys may recognize. At least it made at least brief cameo appearances in my episodes so far. We have here ourselves the Tyrannosaurus, another hadrosaur. You can see it's got, really love what they did here with the design. It's got this green color for its hump and some orange on the face. However, sadly again, no eye printing. So yeah, big bummer. But I really love what they did here with the detail. So yeah, you win this round, Mattel. Next up, we have some more toothy ones. We have, first things first, you guys may recognize this creature that basically fought Fujiwai in one of the Jurassic Adventure episodes. A more smaller cousin of the Spinosaurus. It is the Matriocanthosaurus. It is the old version because sadly Mattel's done it again. They have not made a new version of it. So because of this, I'm stuck with this old one that's got barely an articulation, except for the jaw, obviously, as soon as I can get it open. And as you can see, it does have some eye printing, which is at least a plus. And this decently cool looking green color. And the colors themselves are at least not bad, with this yellow underbelly, this tan, almost tannish like color, and this green top, making it almost look like a mountain that you find in a desert environment. But these next ones are quite awesome. First things first, we have another sauropod. You guys may recognize this one in episode 12, as 3 of them got shredded by a mysterious killer as me recording this video. So we have the Apatosaurus. This is also the creature that the Indominus Rex killed in Jurassic World 2015. So yeah, poor creature. You see, it does have eye printing, so thank God. And sadly, although the only downside is this is an older mini, meaning it's not quite as articulation worth. As you can see, the legs are kind of stiff. However, at least Mattel made it up for giving an articulated neck. However, I would not recommend putting it like this, as the real animal did not graze from trees. As fun fact, the real animal would actually graze like this. They would be like this and start grazing on the ground with their long necks to reach greater distances. Since if they were to do this, the neck would actually break, and basically it would kill them, or at least make them severely paralyzed. Regardlessly, this creature is quite a more awesome looking mini that Mattel has done. Next up, we have another rare mini in my collection. I've only got one of these minis, and this is the mini I'm about to show you in this video. And of course, it has not made an appearance in Jurassic Adventure yet, or any of my series. We have the Pachyrhinosaurus. This is also one of my more favorite ceratopsians. As you can see, unlike all of its other cousins, it's actually got a nasal boss and a tiny horn, almost a spike-like horn, unlike its other cousins such as Triceratops. Has actually some brow horns, whilst this thing has a single spike for a horn. And yes, as you can see, the head does articulate, and the color is not bad, with this sand green with this brown splotch. But sadly, it is an older mini, meaning it does not have articulation. Well, it doesn't have flexibility to it, and it's made out of hard plastic. But by far, what I mainly am disappointed about this mini is this thing is huge. For some reason, Mattel made this thing ginormous. As you can see, compared it to this Triceratops, this thing is literally huge. It makes this Triceratops look like a juvenile, and this thing is the adult. I mean, I understand the Pachyrhinosaurus was a ceratopsian, but the thing is, fun fact, Pachyrhinosaurus was actually smaller than this. So it's quite weird that they made it so big like this, especially comparing it to creatures that you know are huge, like Spinosaurus. That is just ridiculous. You can see it's basically bigger than the Spinosaurus, which is absolutely ridiculous because the real creature would probably be 2 times smaller than this, or at least small enough for the Spinosaurus to hunt it down. And the same goes for the Giganotosaurus. You can see this thing is pretty much just as big as the Giganotosaurus, which makes no sense, obviously, because this creature is meant to be a creature that, big predators could actually almost easily kill. As you can see, in this case, this thing is practically a fortress. You can see its head is literally 2 times bigger than the Giganotosaurus' head. So yeah, that's the only downside and the only nitpick I have with this mini is that it's too ridiculously big, and especially it's a problem with Brachiosauruses. That is ridiculous. This thing can easily just knock over the Brachiosaurus in real life, with a single bump. But yeah, despite its goofiness, it's still a really good mini. I just pray to God that Mattel will make a new version of this thing. 'Cause this old version is a little bit disappointing, since obvious I just explained it to you. Anyways, next up is another cool creature we have. We have the one of the few creatures that made appearance in Camp Cretaceous of the Netflix series. We have the Nothosaurus. This is a creature that I really like, actually. As you can see, it's quite unique. It's like this weird crocodile-like creature with this actually kind of a purplish color, which is very unexpected. I never expected Mattel to make a purple dinosaur. You can see it's also got some scaling detail along with black and some tan underbelly. But sadly, no eye printing again. So yeah, Nothosaurus is quite a cool creature. Next up, we have another crocodilian, which is one of my favorites. It is the Sarcosuchus. As you can see, this thing is quite unique in color as well. It's got this sky blue color, and it's got orange stripes on it on its midsection, and mainly this purple color on the top, which I think is pretty interesting. But sadly, no eye paint again. As you can see, the mouth is actually quite cool, and it looks like the real animal. So yeah, very nice mini, Mattel. Next up, we have another ceratopsian. We have one of my favorites, the Pentoceratops. You can see the Pentoceratops is quite huge, as it rightfully should, because Pentoceratops is quite a bulky and powerful animal, especially with that really big frill that it can use to topple over its enemies with, along with those gorgeous horns, including this giant nasal horn. Though, sadly, as you can see, no eye printing again, so thanks a lot, Mattel. But it does have a decent pattern on its frill. Sure, not really the best, but it's at least a decent amount. And of course, a decent amount of scales and spikes that they gave this thing. And of course, a very cool looking beak that I used to pluck plants out of the ground. Next up, we have another creature that is actually a favorite of mine, but sadly has not made an appearance in both Jurassic Adventure, my series, and Utahraptor 1987's series, Jurassic Sanctuary. At least as of me recording this video, both of our series have not seen this creature yet. We have the one and only Therizinosaurus. This is quite an awesome mini. I really love what Mattel did here. It looks just like how it did in the film. You can see it has a yellow eye with some eye printing with a low pupil, but sadly the camera is not being nice today, so I can't pick it up on camera. But I really love the darkish blue-black feathers it gave it, including this really nice detail it gave the tail that make it look like it actually has feathers, including the arms. And of course, the red pattern. And what I really love the most about this mini is it's got arm articulation, which I thought was genius because, of course, this creature used its claws for defense and, of course, to pluck down plants, bring down branches, and just eat from it. And, of course, speaking of which, it's got a beak, which is really cool. And, of course, those wicked claws. So, yeah, very, very nice mini, Mattel. Very nice. Next up, we have another cool creature. We have the Vistahavitzer. Now, you may be wondering, what the heck is a Vistahavitzer? Well, it's this thing. It's actually a cousin to the Tyrannosaurus Rex we all know and love. As you can see, it's a very weird, very kind of intimidating, but also really cool creature. We have a tan color, mainly for the coloration of this thing. It's got a black underjaw with black stripes, which I thought was very interesting. Its orange eye, if that camera can pick it up. And by far the most famous is obviously the giant quills it has on its tail. Now it's not really known if this thing can use these quills, can use them as a form of defense. All we know is that these things look absolutely weird, but yet also really cool. And of course those wicked looking teeth, which I think Mattel did a great job on, because it makes the creature look more scary and actually makes it look more intimidating. Next up, we have another favorite of mine. We have a newer one they actually did. This is the Capasuchus, also known as the boar croc, because you can see it's got dog-like legs, which allows it to gallop and run, unlike its crocodilian cousins today. As you can see, it's got really gnarly teeth. You can see its teeth were so big, it actually overlapped the jaw entirely. You can see the upper canines are actually overlapping the upper jaw. I cannot imagine having teeth that big. As you can see, sadly, no eye printing again, but they did at least give it this really beautiful light blue texture, along with the scale detail. Regardlessly, Caprosuchus is also quite an awesome creature. Next up, we have another cousin to the T-Rex. We have the beautiful, beautiful Sinotyrannus. This thing is quite awesome. You can see it's got a very beautiful red crest, very beautiful red stripes on its face, yellow eyes, really, really nice spikes. A olive green-ish color, if you could see it, an olive green color from its neck to its area like this, and a red-tipped tail, which I thought was pretty good, because I never thought that I would see a mini that has a tipped-off tail. So yeah, this is a very, very nice mini, and I'm not usually a fan of such creatures like this, but that thing is quite nice. Scientific or not, regardless, that's quite nice. Next up is, of course, the one and only, the most famous, the most notable, the most loved dinosaur on the planet. We have Tyrannosaurus Rex. We have, you can see the jaw, it articulates, and you see this creature, well, this Rex, it's actually the brown version with the dark black color. Regardless, this is a very nice mini, and of course, thankfully, some eye printing. If you can see right there, it's got some eye printing. And the design, all in all, is not that bad. Though it is kind of slightly tip-heavy sometimes, so I do warn you, it might topple over from the tail or the head. So yeah, that's the only thing I have a nitpick with this mini. It is kind of top-heavy. However, they did at least make two versions of it. The first one is actually an older version, but I'm counting it because sadly they've technically not made a new version of it yet. We have a lighter brown one. This is a really cool one. As you can see, you could tell it's the old version because I can twist the neck like I can barely twist the neck on that thing. However, on this one, you see it easily twists. So yeah, this is a very nice dinosaur. Nice dinosaur variant. The last T-Rex variant we have is the green variant. You guys may recognize it if you guys seen the movie Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World. This was actually the male T-Rex, aka also known as the buck. And also, if you guys seen Jurassic Park 3, this is kind of the same T-Rex that sadly got its neck snapped by the Spinosaurus. Regardless, this T-Rex is very nice. It might be one of my favorites. You see it's got a cream jaw, along with a cream underbelly, and some decent scales, and some decent printing. And thankfully, eye printing. So yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, once again, it might fall over, because this thing hates me. Please stand. Come on, you're embarrassing yourself, buddy. He may look a little weird, but just ignore him. Now, the next creatures, these two are the last two land creatures I have. And sadly, these are not real creatures, but I don't care. I'm going to include them anyways, since this is the Jurassic World franchise after all. And obviously, we have the two hybrids. We have the Indominus Rex. You see, this is a very cool mini. I like what they did here. They gave it the white, along with some gray for the top. Although you may see it's got a lot of shininess to it, which isn't really realistic, but I guess it is. But for some reason, they gave it just the basic black eyes. Even though, in my opinion, last I checked, the Indominus Rex's eyes in the film were red. So what's up with that? But regardlessly, despite that minor nitpick, this mini is quite awesome looking. And they made it look just like how it did from the original film. So yeah, this is quite an awesome mini. And of course, it's a newer style one. I mean, its arms can move easier, and its head too. Sadly, it also is kind of tip heavy. I mean, it could topple over from its tail or its head. So yeah, you have to watch out for that. Next up, we have one of my favorites of the hybrids. We have the Indoraptor. You can see this thing looks sick. It's got a yellow stripe. It's got black for its skin. It's even got red eyes, which I think is pretty awesome because it makes it look terrifying. And of course, those quadrupedal dog-like legs. And of course, the Mini itself looks cool. For some reason, Mattel just gave it speckling throughout it. It's basically this glitter-like stuff. I don't know why they did that, but regardless, it's at least gives it a little bit more variety. You can see they also gave it the quills on its head, on its neck, and its back. Regardlessly, and also it's a newer version, meaning it's not just posable, but also it is size accurate, which is something the older ones suffered with. I'm gonna dock it a little bit because it does not have no articulated jaw. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing. But now, finally, the last 3 minis of this entire little saga is now aquatic minis. We have the first one is the Elasmosaurus. This is a very awesome mini. I really wish Mattel made more aquatic creatures as of me recording this video. Sadly, they've only made 2 ever in existence, and this is one of them. This actually comes in the blind box series, which is at least a little bit cool. You can see its colors is really beautiful. I really love the little blue color, the sand blue color, along with the beautiful dark blue color they gave its tail. And of course the cream underbite and the underjaw along with the underbelly. And of course it's even got eye printing, which if you look really closely, you can see it's got a little orange speck. So yeah, this is a very nice aquatic creature. Now next up we have the newer version of this creature. I do have the old versions, I'll show you it as well. But this new version is very sick. We have the Mosasaurus. This is actually the biggest mini I have, because like the Jurassic franchise, you can see it's ridiculously big compared to the T-Rex. Its skull is like 3 times bigger than it, if you can see right there. Which I guess is accurate, because the real animal is probably somewhere this big, but in the Jurassic World films, it's ridiculously big. But yes, this is the Mosasaurus, and it's even got eye printing, which I found really shocking. You see, it's got green eyes. Also, kind of looks a little creepy when you look at it in front. And of course, it's got a beautiful stripe along with a white underbelly. Now, the new version compared to the old version, this is the new version I have right now. The old version looked like this. It's just a basic blue color without no eye printing. But it's still a very awesome mini. As for both of these, where I got them, this one came from a playset. This one, the old version, I had it since the day I got it in a pack of dinosaurs from 2018, from a Jurassic World damaged action. I think it's called Battle Damaged pack. Regardlessly, this is one of the 3, because I picked up 3 other ones of this thing. Regardlessly, that, folks, is my entire collection of dinosaurs. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, because let me tell you, this was by far kind of the longest videos I've ever made so far. The reason why, like I said, I couldn't put it all in one video, mainly because, well, like I said, my tablet's memory is not really the best, so I had no choice but to put it all in separate videos. All in all, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this collection video. Thank you guys super duper much for 40 subscribers. You guys are so awesome for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this collection video. Please subscribe and like if you liked this video. And I'll see you guys in the next post. Goodbye.